Hi, everyone, and welcome back. I'm with Mike Daly, City Manager at Jackson.
Tom?
Hi, Mike.
Great to see you.
It's good to see you, too.
Thanks.
Okay, so things are great in Jackson. Jackson has kicked off I always think about it's kicking off the events, calendar for...
A lot coming up.
For this
last
year.
Weekend, but Dandelion Days was fantastic.
Okay, we always have some events before that, but it's not until Dandelion Days. And I'll tell you, it would seem to me like we're due some cold weather down the road because it was beautiful and
it was just gorgeous. Of course, we got some rain coming this week, which is good because we do need some more rain.
Right.
But we'll see what happens. I did hear one person saying today that April and May are supposed to be our winter months this year. So hopefully not too bad, but we'll see.
Okay, and another reason why we don't want it to get too cold or anything is the new grass that's up at the
That's right.
up at the park, Dieter Park.
And everything looks to be on schedule. We've had really good weather since it was put in for opening day at Little League on April 6th. So That's going to be a big day up at the park.
Were you pretty amazed when you saw the new toy equipment? The big apparatuses that kids play on and everything up there.
Yeah, well, it's amazing everything throughout the park that the Rancheria has done. The work at the pool has really been fantastic. People are really going to see that when the city's pool season opens in June.
Yeah.
But completely resurfaced the small pool, redid the decking, the restrooms and changing rooms are all redone. There's going to be additional solar panels for the heating, and right now, the new gas heaters that replaced the old ones, which were due to be replaced, are in operation for the high school swim team.
Okay, and they put in the new, bleachers. I think they put in new
bleachers
in
and
the
the covers.
And everybody won't have to be putting up their own little tarps.
Yeah, no, it's really nice.
For the summer swims.
Yep.
Okay, so that's going to be a real great thing. And also I noticed you can tell where the library is now because the trees no longer cover it.
Yeah, they did a great job with the landscaping around the library and cleaning that all up. The whole area looks great. And,
let's get to
real jewel.
Let's get to the bunkers to Beaker.
The Bunsen to Beaker race, yeah.
So it's really doubled in size.
It was a good crowd this year. I was one of those out there, and it was good to see so many folks. A lot of people go out
for the whole 5.
All 5 kilometers, yeah. And some people just walk it, some people run it, and we had our big group of the 70-plussers this year. Like your story said, Bob Devlin, I guess, cracked the 70s now. So, Tony McMullen and Giles Turner, and I think I'm not sure if Fred Hall's in that category or not from our planning commission, but he was out there too. So it's great to see people of all ages out there having fun.
Now you weren't running in a costume.
No, I was not in costume.
Now, is there a special competition for the costume?
They didn't. I don't know if they had. No, they did. They had a special awards this year for the costumes as well. There were some ladies that had some. I think there were bunny hats that they were wearing. Nothing too extensive. A couple of the organizers were in these foam shark outfits that looked.
Maybe you could go like as a sailboat and pick up some extra wind at your back.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
What do you think, huh? Okay. All right. Now. We're about ready to take a break. Why don't we take a break, and when we come back, we'll come back with some of the business that's going to be handled by the
Planning Commission?
Planning Commission tonight. Okay, so stay with us. We'll be right back with a break.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.
Well, hi, everyone, and welcome back, and with Mike Daly. And Mike, we were talking about the Jackson Commission, the Planning Commission, right?
Right.
It's newly formed. This is going to be one of the first items, isn't it? Or am I off on this?
The Planning Commission's been around a long time.
Right.
We've got a couple new commissioners. George White and Paul Molinelli Jr. have joined the commission, and they actually have one meeting under their belt already. They were at the last meeting. They reviewed the traffic circulation plan, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But tonight's agenda is fairly brief. They just have one item on there, one business item, and that's a 6-month review of a conditional use permit that was approved for the Amador auction house to do their swap meets.
Right, so that's the old Prospect Motors.
Right.
And I think everything they're asking for, they've been having all along during the 6 months.
Yeah, they're not
trial,
asking for
right?
anything new. These are items that were approved 6 months ago on a conditional basis. So they're coming back tonight to review those items. It was, the maximum number of vendors they could have, not allowing any electrical cords to be running around, some issues about landscaping, which they are working on submitting a plan with our planning department to finalize
Okay.
that, those types of things. So
Okay, and then if they get the permit, how long would the permit be for? Is this
a
be
conditional
ongoing?
use permit, unless it has a review period like this one had, is usually not a time-based permit. It's for the property. If the planning commission feels that there's some things that still might need to be reviewed down the road, they can opt to do that, but otherwise it would be just an ongoing permit from that point forward.
Okay, just to give some people an idea, how does it seem like it was going? When I go by
It's
and everything,
going well,
everything seems
yeah.
to be,
Yeah, they've been
working out
drawing
well.
really well. I mean, I came by there early Saturday this week on my way down to the Bunsen and Beaker run, and the parking lot was almost already packed at 7:30. So it's drawing a lot of people, and a lot of, of course this weekend as well with so many people in town.
Right.
But it was
this was a weekend to come by Jackson and see if there was anything old or new
Right.
that you might want to buy, right?
So it seems like they're doing well, and they do draw a pretty good crowd. They're allowed to do the swap meet 2 times a month. So other than that, they also continue to do the auctions on the weekends as well, and have their swap shop in the front area. So
Right, and then of course having a caterer there or
the hot dog
the
stand.
hot
or
dog
whatever,
stand
yeah.
is
That's another
help
part
feed
of
the
the
people
condition.
while you're walking around,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and so that'll be on tonight's
Tonight's planning commission meetings start at 6:30.
Okay, maybe you could tell me a little bit about, I read a story, I'm just opening this up to you for the first time, about so many of the markers or something from the, from the cemetery.
Uh-huh.
What,
Yeah,
this field,
there's a lot up on a property, and apparently those markers have been there for quite some time. I don't believe that they are from the Jackson City Cemetery, but maybe somebody who had a business of making the monument markers or something in the
Okay.
past. So our police department's looking into that, and but we don't feel that there's any
it's not
serious
directly
reason for
related to
concern.
vandalism as
No,
of late or
no,
anything like
not
that,
any
right?
recent activity. Yeah.
Okay, so I think we're going to go on into the Jackson's transportation
The circulation improvement plan, right? It's been under study since, I think last November was the first public workshop that we had at a planning commission meeting. And there have been a couple workshops at our planning commission, and the city council had their first chance to review it in January. So all that is, we've gotten a lot of public comment and everything. That's all coming to the city council at their next meeting, which is next Monday, March 25th at 7 o'clock to get down to deciding which projects make the cut.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the concept of the roundabouts, that's, I want to say that's controversial, but it certainly has a lot of people wondering, like,
It
how
certainly
do,
gets-
how
yeah.
do these
A lot of head
roundabouts
scratching.
work, and
Absolutely.
are they going to work? What's
Yeah.
it going to be like? And I think we're not used to them. We have
No.
no idea of what they're like.
Although people in the county have been using one when they go up to the Amador Ridge Shopping Center.
Sure, if you
And they-
go
and they
into Lowe's and
Go
come
into
out of Lowe's.
go around that water tower. That is a roundabout, and pretty
But there's
similar.
not a lot of traffic there.
There's not certainly as much traffic as you would have if it's on the highway, but it would be the same setup as if we did the one where we're talking about now
Okay.
at Mission Boulevard and Highway 88 out
Okay.
in front of the hospital.
Now, you brought some video, actually you emailed a little bit earlier, but we
Yeah.
didn't get a chance to be able to
Okay.
get it ready.
Yeah.
But there's opportunity for people to see roundabouts on the website, right?
Sure. There are, there's a good one if you Google in City of Reedley roundabout.
Say that city's name again?
Reedley, Reedley.
Okay.
They're down in the Central Valley, and they actually just set up a camera at a roundabout and shot about 12 minutes of video just for their own traffic engineering purposes, and it's on a YouTube account, so you can look at it. And it's similar to the highway where you've got one lane coming in. You know, it's not a two-lane highway up there at Mission and 88. So you've got one lane coming in to the roundabout area, and when you come into a roundabout, you yield to traffic that's already in the circle, and then when it's clear, you just move. And there are a couple of benefits that people who promote the roundabout concept talk about. It's a lot safer because people come into a roundabout at a lot slower speed than they would a signalized intersection. So you don't have the I guess more dramatic collisions that you have at a signal. It saves gas because you're not sitting there waiting at a signal if you have to stop, and then it also is better because there's less emissions from vehicles as they either wait or don't wait and can go through a roundabout versus a signalized intersection. So,
what's the negative to it? Is it just that people don't know what they're like?
I think that's really the big thing is people don't know what they're like. They do require a little bit more land than a signalized intersection because the circumference of the circle is usually a little bit bigger than just a square or.
Okay, I'm going to have to look. I'm going to have to look at that. So I'm glad somebody's put it on the website because I was thinking about where do I go to video one and bring it back so people can see it. But if it's already been done and it's got a similar traffic problem, or traffic flow that we have here, then we probably get a good idea of what it looked like. Right. It seems to me like when I go back and I think about what it was like back on the East Coast, and there's quite a lot of them, especially the D.C. area and stuff like that, it seemed to me like you could get stuck inside one like a merry-go-round. They actually have
the bigger ones,
So if it's not that, then it probably sounds like it's a good idea.
This would be just the single-lane one, and it especially at that location, it would be kind of a nice gateway as a way to slow people down as they're coming into the city. You come down Highway 88 right now sometimes, and there are a lot of people in a hurry to get somewhere.
It could give a person an opportunity to get out of the cross streets that are close to the 88 intersection.
Exactly, and it would also provide a better way for pedestrians to get across that intersection right now. There are people that walk over to the hospital, especially people that like to use the park course little walking trail over there. And
my imagination is running crazy now, seeing how that would work out.
That's in front of the circle. It's not in the middle of the circle.
Okay, all right. Okay, or behind it, depending on what direction you're taking. Okay, well, we won't complicate it anymore. What are some of the other things that is coming Jackson's way?
Let's see. The wastewater environmental impact report was approved at the last city council meeting. So now we're moving forward with some of the next steps in the process. The next critical path item is getting the water rights petition to the regional or to the Water Resources Control Board, which we need to do in order to be able to stop discharging all the city's treated effluent into Jackson Creek, because there could be potential users downstream that want to have the water in the creek, as opposed to the Regional Water Quality Control Board that doesn't want water in the creek, or the Department of Public Health. So we're getting ready to submit that application. We're also going through our permit renewal process in order to continue the discharging that we will be doing into Jackson Creek. That's a 5-year process that comes about, and you need to renew the permit. So they've given us our preliminary draft that kind of kicks off the process. We're anticipating probably being before the regional board in June, July, or August this year with the final permit. So a lot happening there. We're also going to be having some rate discussions in the near future, because these projects that we're looking at, unfortunately, are very expensive, but it's cheaper than the penalties and fines that we could incur.
So those are the water rates?
Correct. Right. The wastewater rates.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Well, it's good to have you come by and bring us up to speed on what's happening in the city of Jackson.
Anytime.
And thanks for coming by.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have the weather and more on TSPN. Stay with us.
You're watching Amador County's #1 news and sports leader, TSPN.